Thank you for your interest in registering your child for Florida 4-H. My name is Grady Graham. I am the 4-H Program Assistant for UF-IFAS, Extension Leon County. I'm glad you're taking the time to learn how to sign up your child for Florida 4-H. I will try to make this experience as simple and as fast as possible for your own convenience. The first step will be to navigate to 4-H Online. In this scenario, I'm assuming you have never made an account in the 4-H program. If you already have an account, skip ahead. Once you're here, you're going to click on the Don't Have an Account link at the bottom. Once here, you'll select your state, which is Florida for this example, and you'll select UF-IFAS extension. For county, select the county that is applicable to you. For this example, we'll be using Leon County. Once here, you'll have to enter some information to create your account, your email, your family name, your mobile phone number, and your password. The email you use will also be used as your username, so make sure to write it down and choose your password. The password must be 10 characters, have one uppercase, one number, and one symbol to be valid. Once you've entered this information, click on Create Account. Here you'll be asked to enter in your address to verify your account. Once you've entered in some of the information, click on Verify. You will now be setting up your member. After you've entered in your address information and verified, you'll be asked which program you would like to join. For our program, we'll select Florida 4-H and click Next. Setting up your profile, you'll need to enter your first name, last name, date of birth, and if you would like a different email to be contacted at or phone number, please enter them now. Here I've entered in some example information. Once I'm satisfied with this, I'll click on Next. This is the About You section. You'll need to enter your gender as it applies to you, demographics, such as residence, ethnicity, or race. You can always click on Prefer Not to State if you would rather not state. You'll need to enter an emergency contact, their full name, their relationship to you, a contact phone number or email. The contact phone number will be required. The email will not. Once you have entered in the required information, you'll be able to click Next. You will be given two options for how you would like to participate. The first option, I would want to join Florida 4-H as a new or returning Florida 4-H adult volunteer, or I want to participate in Florida 4-H but not as a Florida 4-H adult volunteer at this time. If you would like to register your child and not volunteer at this time, select the second option and click Finish. You have now set up your family account. Once here, you'll notice at the top right of the screen an Add Member section. This is how you will add your child to your family. Click the Add button, click which program would you like to join, and you'll click Florida 4-H and hit Next. Here you'll be setting up your child's profile. All the information you enter will be as it applies to your child. You will need to enter their first name, last name, and date of birth. If they have a preferred name, you can enter it in the Preferred Name section. If they have spent previous years in a youth program such as 4-H, please enter at the bottom. Please note that your child's program age is defined as their age as of September 1st, meaning if your child turns 8 after September 1st, they will be regarded as 7 for this 4-H year and may not qualify for certain opportunities. Vice versa, if your child turns 19 after September 1st, your child will still be regarded as 18 for the 4-H program year and can still participate in our programs. Here you'll be taken to the About You for your child. You'll need to enter the required information about your child: their gender, their grade, their residence, ethnicity, and race. You can always select the Prefer Not to State if you would rather not divulge that information. You will also need to enter an emergency contact for your child. This can be you or another guardian or a friend or family member that you can rely on in case of an emergency. You'll need to enter their full name, their relationship to the youth member, and their contact phone number or email. The contact phone number will be required. Here I have entered in some example information for you to review. I've selected gender, the grade, the residence, which is city or suburb more than 50,000. Depending on where you live, there are different options: farm, town under 10,000, town, city, or suburbs, 10,000 to 50,000, and city central, more than 50,000. For ethnicity, I prefer not to state, and for race, I prefer not to state. I have entered the full name of my emergency contact, their relationship to the member, and their contact phone number. I am now clicking Next. How would you like to participate? For your child to be registered as a club member, you will need to select I want to join Florida 4-H as a new or returning Florida 4-H youth member. Once you select that, click Finish. We are now at the club section. This is where you register your child for the 4-H club that you want. This will be able to submit an application for the club that you're trying to register for. We now hit Select Clubs, where we'll see a full list of the Leon County 4-H clubs. For this example, we are going to register for the Arrowheads Archery Club. Once we click Add, we'll click Next. Each club has a matching project type. I encourage you to reach out to your local 4-H agent to figure out which project matches the club you're trying to join. Hit Select Projects. For Arrowheads, we'll be looking for the Shooting Sports project. Once we found it, we'll hit Select, so SS Archery, Shooting Sports Archery. Select and Add. Years in the project, if this is your first year, select 1. If you've been in this project before, please enter that information as it applies to you. We'll now click Next. Questions. Click Show Questions. We now be able to review the information we added earlier, as well as enter in some additional information. Please review that the information you entered earlier is correct. You will also be able to add a second emergency contact if you wish. This is not required. You now need to enter the parent/guardian info, first name, last name, and phone number. You can add a parent or guardian number 2 if you wish. This is not required. And you will need to fill out some information about the school your child attends, school name, school type. The type of school will include these options, including homeschool, public, private, special education, or charter school. Family and military service. Please enter this information as it applies to your family. If you are serving in the military, please select that option. If you have no one in your family that is serving in the military, please select that option. Other, the last step will be to add your child's t-shirt size as it applies to them. Once you click the Show Health Form button, you'll be taken here, where you can mark down any allergies, special restrictions, or dietary requirements that your child might have. If you click Yes to any of these options, a small text box will appear where you can explain more. Please fill out this information as it pertains to your child. You'll need to click Yes or No for each option. Please mark now if your child uses an EpiPen or inhaler. Once you click Yes, a small text box will appear to allow you to explain when they need to use the device. This will be important information for a 4-H year. Vaccinations and health insurance are not required information, but you can enter that information now. Do any specific activities need to be restricted for the participant? If you would like to select Yes, a small text box will appear for you to explain more. Medical consents, first aid, and medication. Once you have read and acknowledged this, you will select I understand and agree to the medical consents. I am a parent/guardian. Enter the member name, which is your child's name, and the parent/guardian that is reading this document's name. You will then click Next. You will now be taken to the Consents page. It is important that you read and acknowledge each consent as it applies to you and your child. The Florida 4-H Code of Conduct. Please read and acknowledge. Once you've read it, select the option I have read the Florida 4-H Code of Conduct above and agree to abide by it in its entirety. You will then enter your child's name and the parent/guardian that is reading this document. Identification of risk. Once you have read this, you'll do the same as the above consent. I understand that I or my child will be participating in Florida 4-H and may include, but not limited to, club meetings, interactions with animals and livestock, shooting sports, outdoor camping activities. And you will once again enter the child's name and the parent/guardian that is reading this document. Acknowledgement of risk. transportation policy, publicity release. This is one of the optional consents. You can either authorize us to use your child's image and voice on social media or not authorize the use of your child's image and voice. Once you've selected the option that applies to you, you'll select the option and enter the child's name and the parent/guardian who is reading this document. Consent to limited data collection. Once you have agreed to that, enter the child's name and parent/guardian name. Survey evaluation release. You can either be willing to participate or give permission for my child to participate in any program evaluation, or you can select the option that you are not willing to participate. Once you have made that selection, you can move on. Once you have filled out all the information and filled in your names, you can click Next. If you do not sign all the consents, it will not let you continue. Once you have signed those, you'll be able to click Next. Payment. Here are the instructions for payments. Show payment options. Here you can either pay by card or select the button that says Pay by Check. All checks will need to be made payable to the University of Florida. Once you select Pay by Check, you need to confirm this information. Once here, you'll select Next and Submit. Once you click Submit, you will be done with your setting up your child's registration, and you'll submit an application to be in the club that you have registered for. Thank you for taking the time to learn how to submit your child's Florida 4-H application.